Hello, Buffs. Welcome to Heard on the Go with Dr. Mull. I'm your host, Dr. Deandra Mull, Vice Chancellor for Student Life. I'm excited to use this platform to connect you with stories, conversations, and insights to student life at CU Boulder. Whether you're a student, Buff family member, staff, or alum, this podcast is for you. Let's get started. Hello, Buffs. Welcome to Heard on the Go with Dr. Mull. Today, I'm joined by Chancellor Schwartz, who's going to talk a bit about what he's excited about for this upcoming school year as we welcome back our amazing Buffs. Chancellor Schwartz, are you ready to go?
I am very ready, Dr. Mull. Thank you for having me. Let's do it.
So, Chancellor Schwartz, tell us, what does the Chancellor do?
So the Chancellor oversees the entire operations of everything that happens on campus. And so it's a pretty broad-ranging thing, including academics, athletics, student life, health and wellness, operations. If there's something happening on CU Boulder's campus, the Chancellor's the one that ultimately reports to. Chancellor also engages with alums, local community, broader community, the system office, and through the system office, the regents. So really anything that has to do with CU Boulder and its relationship to the outside world comes through my office.
That is a very big job. So in that, what is your favorite part about being Chancellor?
My favorite part is seeing our students and our faculty and our staff thrive and be excited about our mission and see them come and advance themselves personally and professionally and have real impact on the world. And knowing that what they're doing now is going to not only transform their lives, but through their life, transform the world over the next 3, 4, 5 decades.
I can tell you're very excited about what you do here in the PET. There's great passion that you bring to this. As we think about, we're getting ready to launch into a whole new school year. What are you excited about for our students?
So, yes, I'm very passionate because I think this is the best job in the world. Every fall brings a new level of energy, a new buzz. We're always working on something new for the campus, keeping the campus modern and responding to the changes in what students are interested in and what the society needs from our educational opportunities. So the excitement of just a whole new class of students is there. There's also the excitement in our returning students, the second year, third year, fourth years, those who are going to graduate in May, seeing and learning about them, nervously anticipating what's going to come for them next after they graduate and where they're going to go and the great things that they're going to do.
So thinking about who we are as the herd, right? We are absolutely 40,000 students strong, our faculty and staff, everyone makes for this to be a really robust campus community. What are some of the programs, the events, the opportunities for students that we have on campus that you'd like to highlight?
So for new students, I want to make sure that they don't miss the class photo, right? Because it's something we do every year, but this is the first year that we're going to be able to do it on Folsom Field with brand new turf. So please don't miss that. If you're a first year student, come out there and make sure your smiling face is there. I also want to encourage all students, first year in particular perhaps, but really all students to get to the Be Involved Fair. It's coming up pretty soon. It's an opportunity to get introduced to so many different clubs and activities that are available to students outside of their curricular work, outside of the classroom, and really is the differentiator about being a part of the herd.
I really resonate with that. I think about our work in student affairs or student life. We just shifted, so that's fresh, hot off the presses. We are known now as the Division of Student Life. When I think about all the things that we have to offer, I also recognize that you have 7,000 plus new students coming in. That can be overwhelming and exciting at the same time. What advice would you give to students, especially our new buffs, on how they can start strong?
So first and foremost, I would say relax. You can't do 4 years of stuff in 4 days. So take your time to really explore. Don't lock yourself into like one mindset, like this is the only thing I'm going to do. Be open-minded. It's okay to come in thinking you're doing one major and changing to another. It's okay to come in thinking these are the 2 things I'm going to do extracurricular and then do something different. I always encourage students to use their undergraduate time window to try something that they're pretty sure they're not going to like. Like find something in a million years you'd say, I'm not going to like this, I don't want to do it, and go ahead and do it anyways, because you may find that you actually fall in love with doing something you never imagined. But one way or the other, you're going to meet people that you wouldn't have met otherwise. And even if you hate the activity, you may make a new best friend that you'll know for 3 or 4 decades. And for 3 or 4 decades, you can talk about that time that you met doing something that was awful and the other person loved it, but somehow you two clicked. So really explore your opportunities, get to know, faculty and staff. Everyone who in faculty and staff at CU Boulder is here to support your success, here to help you find your individual way. So we are, about 40,000 students, one big herd of 40,000 individuals. No two of you are likely to want to do all the same things. And so take your time to get to know people, get connected, find your folks, build your support network. People are here at the ready. I know for some of you, when I say, don't be shy and introduce yourself, that's a daunting thing to say. So find your way of getting to know the people that will help you and support you. Last piece of advice is don't hesitate to ask questions. It's any question you have, the 10 people standing around you probably are all thinking the same question. We want you to get your answers. There's so much to learn, so much to know. It's a new place. So feel free to ask as many questions as you want. That's why we're here.
I love that. I think about my own college experience. You mentioned the relationships that you build that last a lifetime. That is absolutely true. The friends I made my first year on campus still are my friends today. They've served in so many important roles in my life, and I can't imagine how I would have navigated even life today were it not for those relationships built. I also think about some of the habits that I learned in undergrad as well. I came in, I learned things, I unlearned others. What are some habits or mindsets that you believe will lead you to a successful and fulfilling college journey?
So first, a phrase that always sticks with my head, which really comes from endurance sports. And college is an endurance sport in a sense. And it's find a rhythm, right? You're going to have a different rhythm than other people perhaps, but find your rhythm. Have a regular routine, right? I know this sounds cliche and overly parental, but eat well, eat healthily. It's important. And get into a regular routine of knowing what's important to you, knowing what you need to do for your own academic success, knowing what you need to do to have healthy relationships. Don't forget about your friends and family from wherever you're coming here from, right? They're still there, and in today's world, it's easy to stay connected. But really just find your routine.
Indeed. I love that. Again, you're finding your way forward, and you're going to have a rhythm that helps you make that all work. You also mentioned the academic journey as well. I think about what we contribute to the Division of Student Life, and that is the lens of community. We know that when you come to the university, you don't just come for an education, you come for an educational experience. What advice do you have for students to help them get connected and find a sense of belonging and community early in the semester?
So I think it's think about how you make connections in different spaces. So if you're in residential life, get to know people in your residence hall, not just your roommate and right down the hall, but get to know people. If your roommate is a big breakfast eater and light dinner eater and you're the opposite, then find other folks too to find that rhythm with. Go ahead and get to know early on the people in the academic unit that you're starting with, even if it might change. Get to know an advisor, right? Literally their name is advisor, right, for a reason. And they are there not to necessarily help you get that specific degree you started with, but to help you find the degree or degrees, the majors, the minors, the certificates that will let you build your own academic experience.
So I think about your route as a faculty member. So prior to sitting in this seat, you had a very long journey of just academic excellence to get here. What advice would you give to a new student as they approach a new faculty member? What do they need to do to be successful in the classroom?
So in the classroom, it's always good to know what's expected. Here's going to be a really, really strange piece of advice. Actually read the syllabus, right? The faculty members are expected to and do put time and effort into the syllabus. So know what's expected. If you're a student who is coming and previously had documented disability of some sort, so many come in and say, well, I don't think I'll need that still in college. And then mid-semester, they find they need it, and then they've got to go through the process. So if you have some documented need for support, go ahead and bring that up now. Take care of that business now. You don't necessarily have to use it, but get in the system, get the documentation, get it to your faculty for your classes early. Everybody likes what's called the no surprises rule, right? So try not to surprise them with it the day before the exam. Suddenly you need an accommodation. that's much more difficult than letting them know in the beginning of the semester, right? So that we can plan ahead for you. The other thing is to, try to do the reading, try to keep up on the homework. If you are struggling academically, go to the professor early, go to the TA early, go to whoever's teaching the course. Early intervention is always best, right? Whether it's a head cold or an academic challenge, early intervention is always best. So get to know the faculty and the instructors in your classes, because truly they want you to learn the material. They want you to succeed. So engage with them, early on in the process.
That is amazing advice. So before you were Chancellor Schwartz, before you were Dr. Schwartz, you were Justin. You were a student. What would you say is a piece of advice you wish you had received at the start of your semester of your freshman year?
I think it's the advice I gave a few minutes ago, which is explore more, try a broader range of things. That just wasn't the messaging way back in the day in the 80s. And so I do feel like there were probably more both academic and sort of social activity things that I could have experienced that I didn't, because I wasn't really given that guidance. I was just so focused on my degree.
Thank you. That is great advice. Getting involved makes a difference. Again, I work in student life, so that will always be my angle here, is the fact that we know that experience changes everything for students. What if you think about day to day, and I started a bit earlier with this as well, but this is a long journey. We know that the semester is 15 plus weeks long. Students are going to have times where they're like, okay, I need to find my way forward. They're going to have to be inspired. What keeps you inspired as Chancellor?
So what keeps me inspired is conversations like this, seeing our students on campus every day, whether they're, doing fantastic in that moment or looking for help, seeing our faculty, the amazing research that they do, truly research that is going to change the lives of billions over time. But at the same time that they're thinking about these big problems that the world is facing, they're also focused on the individual problems of a single student that's standing there in front of them, right? That balance of care is just so profoundly real in our faculty and our staff. So I find that to be truly inspiring.
So you get to offer the buffs one bit of information as they start the school year. What would it be? And you've dropped gems throughout this whole conversation, but what would be your one thing that you say, if you walk away just remembering one bit of what we've talked about, remember this?
You can do it. You can succeed here. You belong. You are a buff. We have in our enrollment management office some of the world's true experts in evaluating college applications and assessing readiness and the ability of our applicants. So one thing I know is that every student we admit has what it takes to succeed here academically and personally. And it's our job to help you find that path. But when you have that moment of doubt, push it aside. Everyone has moments of doubt. Stick with it. You belong here. You are a buff. You are part of the herd. And come forward when you need help, and we will all help you succeed together.
Absolutely. And just for that extra shout out to Dr. Amy Hutton and her team in enrollment management, who did the heavy lift to get all of our amazing buffs in this class this year. So shout out to Amy and her team there. And then finally, what's one thing you hope every buff experiences this year?
Well, I can't say just one. I hope every buff experiences a sense of self-confidence, a sense of accomplishment, and moments of joy.
Find joy. Absolutely. I would plus one that without question. So there you have it. It's Heard on the Go with Dr. Deandra Mull. I would like to thank Dr. Justin Schwartz, Chancellor Justin Schwartz, for joining us here today, as he gave amazing advice for all of our buffs, both new and returning. So to that, we say welcome, buffs. And for those who are returning, welcome back. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs. Thank you.
Welcome to Heard on the Go with Dr. Deandra Mull. I'm here today with our esteemed leaders from CUSG, who all will introduce themselves and tell us what inspired them to get involved with student government and what their plans are for the year. We'll start with you, Camden.
Thank you so much. My name is Camden Sharkey. I am the external Tri-Executive for CUSG this year, a senior double major in dance and political science. And what made me want to get involved is, other than doing student government all throughout high school and having worked at the state capitol, I really needed to kind of find my community freshman year, and student government was what I had known the most, and I wanted to help give back to the community of Boulder and to campus. And since then, I've stayed with it and loved the work that I've gotten to do.
My name is John Masulit. I am the internal executive this year in CU Student Government. I double major in international affairs and political science, so student government is right up my alley. Just like Camden, I was involved in student government in high school, where I was the student body president there as well. When I came to CU Boulder, I wanted to see what student government did for the students, and ever since I entered freshman year with Camden and Gianna, I've learned so much about our impact and about the mission that we have, and I'm really excited to carry it forward.
Thank you, John. And Gianna.
Hello, my name is Gianna Guido. I use she, her pronouns. I double major in political science and Spanish, and I also have been involved in student government since freshman year. However, my background is mainly focused in advocacy work. So throughout high school, I was doing a lot of legislative advocacy, working to ensure that students had safe access to school. That brought me into student government, where at CU you can really make big impact on the policies that are affecting students every single day on campus. So super excited for the year ahead.
Thank you. And a common thread that I'm hearing is that you all want to serve on behalf of students. You've done this for a very long time throughout your careers here, whether it's both undergrad now or high school. Advocacy, student government, shameless plug as a former student body president in both high school and college as well, certainly understand that passion and how that carries forward into this space. Speaking of carrying forward, thinking about your own experiences over the years, and we think about now you're getting ready to welcome into the school year a whole new class of students. What are you most excited about as we welcome this new class in?
I can kick us off. I think I'm most excited to see the energy come back to campus. All of our new students come in with fresh ideas, fresh experiences, and big dreams. And I think that our institution, with our diverse majors and our diverse activities, really allows them to thrive and flourish here. They're able to find communities, and we hope that they find a home here at CU.
I'm also super excited to see the energy back on campus. I'm very excited that the school has really changed since we've had more excitement around football the last couple of years. And I think every single year that I've been here, it's gotten better. And so I'm excited to see how that changes both who's coming onto campus, what they're excited about, as well as just the energy that's going to pick back up this fall.
I'm excited to see all the new faces around campus, see everyone starting to get involved, to find their place on this campus, but also excited to see what our cabinet is able to do. We expanded our cabinet positions so that we can better meet the needs of the students across the entire campus. And also, we've been in cabinet for a while, and we've seen successful administrations. And so we've started to really take some of their thoughts on how cabinet runs and make sure that we give our cabinet members full autonomy. So being able to see the things that they come up with through their connections in the student body as well to help better serve everyone.
And Camden, that's a great transition. Thinking about you all have expanded your cabinet, as you mentioned, in ways to better serve the student body. You're able to build upon things of previous administrations. What are some of your key initiatives for this year? What are you all focused on?
Yeah, mine is campus safety. I'm a big campus safety person. Other than the fact that I am the loudest and tallest one normally in the room, I know that I kind of come from a different experience every day walking on campus. So one of the big things that I'm working on is trying to help see what we can change with lighting in the walk all the way from the Alumni Center to the farthest end of Willville, and how we can make sure that students walking literally anywhere on campus feel safe, feel supported, but also looking at it from an accessibility standpoint of like, where do we need more signage? Where do people with different accessibility needs need some more support? And how can we help students know wherever they are on campus, even if they're guests, where they are exactly and where they can get to where they need?
My big initiative this year is going to be creating a Canvas course on every student's page that says CU Student Government. And it's an information central page for them where they can see what student government is doing, all of the initiatives that are coming out of us. We have 3 branches and $35 million of student fees that we use every year. Those go to supporting the Rec Center, to the University Memorial Center, as well as our other cost centers, as well as to the advocacy work that we do. And so we think that bringing student government closer to the students through this avenue on Canvas is really going to allow them to connect with us better, and we're going to be able to better advocate for their needs, as well as foster engagement far into the future.
This year, as I mentioned, my background really is in advocacy work, and so I'm really excited to bring some of my advocacy priorities into this position. So for me, that really means supporting marginalized students on campus and making sure that our community is really welcoming to everybody. So a couple things that we have coming up are an immigration clinic to talk to students who may be part of mixed families, working with school resources and bringing those resources to the students through events. Another example is really focusing on the sexual assault conversation and harassment on campus and seeing how we can improve awareness as well as processes for students on campus around that. But much to come.
Wonderful. Those are all really important things that students need to know and have access to as we think about how they're going to navigate campus. We know from research that the first 6 weeks are the most important time as a student as they transition into a new space. Themes that I've heard from you all have centered around agency, advocacy, autonomy. All those are really important. What advice do you give to a new student as they come into this space and this is all new to them? First 6 weeks in, what do you tell them as they begin to navigate campus?
I would say it's a lot, and we all know that it's a lot. We've been through it, but it really is pushing through the a lot and putting yourself in probably slightly uncomfortable situations that you might not have normally found yourself in. But rather than sitting in your dorm and being scared and being sad, which are totally valid feelings, and I did more than I would like to admit my first 2 weeks here, the more that you get out, the more that you see the sun, the more that you see new people, find places on campus that you like, the better you will adjust and adapt to campus and to being a member of the CU community.
Thank you. And I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with Camden. The first couple of weeks are always uncomfortable. You know, you're being displaced from your family and your friends and your support network. So there's bound to be some rough patches. And I think that building on what Camden said, I think you should look for the good in everything, and you should try and seek out more experiences as you come into college. I would go around and shake hands with every person that I met on campus and say, hi, my name is John. This is what I study. And I think that just building that agency and that connection in the first couple of weeks is really going to allow you to thrive a little bit later. And I also would say, like, don't be afraid to not have those connections that you made the first week a couple weeks down the road. There are a lot of times where you'll get pulled into a friend group in the first couple of weeks, and you'll find out 6 weeks in that they're just not the people for you. And that's okay. It's okay to let go of that. So I think taking stock of what you're really enjoying at campus and then taking stock of what's not serving you anymore is really going to allow you to thrive a couple weeks down the road.
Thank you. Very important.
I think kind of on that same vein, don't be afraid to change your mind. I'm actually a transfer student. I transferred my second semester. And I think CU is an amazing place because it's so big and you can change your mind here. Since I've been on campus, I've had multiple majors. I have done multiple different activities, and being able to explore so many different avenues, even after coming mid-semester, really has introduced a world where I've gotten to make so many friends and unique connections. And so don't be afraid to make those leaps and change your mind sometimes.
And I think all that goes back to what you said, John, at the same time, is that students are navigating this. This is all new. Some of it may be daunting. They may come in with friends from high schools. They may not. They may know not a single soul on this campus. And CU gives you such a great opportunity to build community. What would you say to students are some ways to find their community on campus? How do they go about creating that? You shook a lot of hands. You made sure that people knew who you were so that you could know who they were. What are some other ways? What are some of your favorite programs, perhaps, that really helped you to find your communities?
I think that getting involved pretty early is something that can be really successful for building community. We have our Be Involved Fair in the first couple of weeks back on campus that's hosted by one of CU Student Government's cost centers, the Center for Student Involvement. And there's going to be all sorts of campus groups from different backgrounds, whether they're athletic, whether they're academic, whether they're just cultural affinity, or if they're programming like backpacking and stuff like that. So I think getting out onto Fair and Field and seeing that event is going to be really beneficial for the students and for finding your interests. You know, college is a great time to take a step from somewhere that you've never gone before. I did Taekwondo my whole time when I was in high school and middle school and elementary school. And when I came, I did the Taekwondo program and I loved it. But I was also doing all these other programs. That's where I got involved in CU Student Government. And I decided that CU Student Government was something that I was just a little bit more passionate about. And so going to the Be Involved Fair and seeing all of the opportunities, I think is a great way to start with these students.
And not being afraid to try something that is totally new, but that you've been interested in. If you want to go fly fishing but have never gone before, we've got a club for that. Like, you can find your niche. I'm trying to remember. Is it waffles and laser tag? Waffles and laser tag. It's a club. Like, go eat waffles and play laser tag. Sick club. Like, go find the people that are interested in the same things as you, or even Program Council funded by CSI. They do Friday movie nights all throughout the semester that are free for students. If you like movies, go find people there and go make friends and just really kind of immerse yourself in the different niches that are available around campus.
Ditto on everything that they said. But the other big thing is don't be afraid to do stuff alone. I think it's really hard to go show up to an event that, you know, might sound like everybody's bringing their friends. No, just go alone.
Yeah.
Start talking to people. You'll make friends with them.
You definitely will. Very important and critical advice. I want you to think back to your first year here on campus. You're now, let's say, you've been here for a few weeks. Now you're at the end of your first year. What is one thing you would have done differently?
I'll reiterate something I said already before. I would have gotten out of my dorm room. I was stuck in my dorm room for the first 2 weeks that I was here. I am very open and honest about the fact that I fully almost dropped out on the first day of classes. I was isolated. I was alone. I was sad. I missed my friends and family back home. And I vividly remember going down the elevator in Stearns on my first day of classes, and I was like, I can drop out. I can drop out right now, and I don't have to do this. I can pack up my dorm room, leave. I don't have to tell my roommate. I can just dip and go, and I'll be great. But I told myself on the first day that I needed to make a friend. I made one friend. I had that one friend for weeks. I am now still best friends with her, but it really does take pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and into those situations where I'm like, I literally know no one here. And you know what? By the end of it, I will know at least one person. Like, it is those small steps, setting that goal for yourself of like, I will meet one person. I will get one person's phone number. I will get one person's Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Like, I will have one person on campus that I know. And even if you make 5, 10 friends at that event or just that one, like, you click that, you check that box.
And your person is still your person.
Your person's still your person.
That
and
is awesome.
I'm still here on campus 4 years later. So the one person rule, I think, speaks wonders. But
Wonderful. That makes me happy. I do think there's so much value in just finding literally just one person with whom you click, and also the power of a moment. You had a moment where you said maybe not, and then something you said maybe I can, and you're here, and you're leading the way for your peers and your classmates. So I'm glad that you found your person. I'm glad that that moment passed. So good for you.
thank you.
I think staying connected with your family is also super important. During the first couple of weeks of school, it's really, really busy. You have all these classes that you think are going to take less time than high school because there's less time on your schedule, and suddenly you have 100 pages of reading in the first week, and you're like, whoa, I was supposed to be going out on Friday. What am I supposed to do now? And so there's a lot going on. You're meeting a lot of new people, and I think that talking to your family can potentially fall to the wayside. But I think that calling them, I called my mom once a week during freshman year, really helped me stay grounded, because you can talk about all the issues that you're having, whether you're frustrated with your roommate. It's gonna be the first time in a long time that you're living with someone right next to you for hours and hours and hours of the day. Whether it's adjusting to the dining hall, like there's a lot of food there, but you know, maybe it's not the food that you have back at home. And then adjusting to classes, like classes are way more difficult than you expect when you first walk in. So I think that grounding yourself in discussion with your family is really, really helpful to stay motivated and stay clear-minded in order to do well, like all around, academically, athletically, and socially.
I would have gone to every single social event that was posted around campus. I remember just feeling so tired in the first 2 weeks because there's so many things. But looking back, I really do wish I would have gone to more of those events, because being able to connect with other people who are having the same like experience of being on campus for the first time and being scared, I think it is so valuable, especially as you move on. And a lot of those people who I met in the first week, I'm still connected to. So I would have gone to even more events.
Well, and I think the other part to pull into that is you weren't here your first year, but did you all live on campus at one point or other? What was that like in those residential communities? And then secondarily to that, if you also had to choose one place where you could eat the same meal every day, or you had to choose one dining venue or one meal, where would that be, or what would that meal be?
I can say that first and foremost. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this. The cheese tortellini at the Alfred Packard Grill is my favorite day of the entire week, hands down. It's like they only make it every 3 weeks or something because it's the daily dish that happens at the Alfred Packard Grill. Oh my God, everything that the Alfred Packard Grill makes for the daily dish is stellar and fantastic. So I would eat there like 100%. Sorry, I needed to chime in with that first, honestly.
Note to self: I need to get to the Alfred Packard Grill and have the cheese tortellini. Tell us what's special about the Alfred Packard Grill? Where did that name come from?
The only way that I know this is from passing a lot of tours because I never toured campus either before committing here. But it was, at least the story that I remember, it was put out to like a vote of the students when they had built the UMC and were going to put a dining hall in. And the students had all like gathered together like a full like grassroots campaign almost and voted for Alfred Packard, who's a cannibal.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And then that was just, they went with it.
The power of students in all the ways.
Collective
the power
action.
of students. Sorry, back to the moment.
No, I love Alfred Packard too. I go there all the time. And I was going to say the chicken pad thai from there, but I'll give one of our other dining halls a little shout out. I lived on Willville freshman year, so I went to Willville dining all the time, and I loved their orange chicken. I thought it was so good. I also love the space at Willville because it's so open. It's one of our newest dining halls, so that's one of the benefits of living out there in the village.
Yes, thank you, Gianna.
For me, it was the C4C breakfast potatoes. Those were always so fire.
And the breakfast burritos too are pretty good.
Yeah, that whole station in the morning is always good.
Well, we know that food is a part of community. We know that it's really centered in community. And here we talk about traditions a lot as well. So we think about food as a tradition. You sit down with your friends and you eat. What are other traditions that you would shout out to the student body that they should get engaged in? What was your favorite tradition, or what's one that you perhaps didn't take part in that you think students should now consider as well?
I think that all students need to go to some sports games on campus for as many different sports as you can. So obviously the football games, even if you don't get a ticket to go to the football game, participate in the festivities, be out on campus, going through the tailgates beforehand. It is every single week or couple of weeks that we have a football game. It's the best day of the year. But also basketball here is really fun. Lacrosse, all the sports games. It brings such great energy and such great community. So just go to something.
I think kind of building on that, but focus more on the events, you have to go to homecoming. Homecoming is one of our best events on campus. There's constantly programming. There's something happening on Farron Field. There's something happening near Folsom. There's something happening on Norland Quad. There's always people out and about. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of school pride. And we have a lot of student-focused events. So there's like, we have our senior sunset, senior sunrise for all of our seniors. We also have the parade, which is going to be happening on campus this year, which we're super excited about. And next year is going to be our 150th homecoming, if I remember correctly. So we're really looking forward to preparing for that as well.
I don't know if it's totally like a tradition, but I'd say I feel like it's one of those things where everyone has to go to a Fisk show, either one of the laser shows, the liquid sky shows. Like all of them are so much fun, and they, no matter what kind of music you like or what vibe you're going for, like they have a bunch of different artists, and it always is changing and rotating. So definitely, or even just like the planetarium regular shows, stellar.
I went for the first time this spring, and I was amazed. It was a really cool experience, and right here on campus, students can access it. So I am totally in support. I would also say, so all of you have been pretty freaking successful here as students. You've been able to do a lot of great things. You've been able to create space for your other peers to thrive and flourish. You've come in, you've left a mark. You've left an indelible mark on your student experience. That all equals student success at some level or other. What do you say to students who are looking for ways to be successful? What one bit of advice would you give them as they navigate this next space? What's your secret for your success? What would you tell them helped you to achieve success?
I'd say, first and foremost, say yes as often and as much as possible. I can't tell you how many times I have been in a situation where someone has just offered me a ticket to go do something, said, hey, do you want to go go to Denver and do something, see someone, doesn't matter. And I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know the full plans, but I'm just going to say yes and go with the flow and ride it out. And it has led me to some absolutely incredible, remarkable experiences and into opportunities that I would not have had otherwise. And so really being able to say yes, and I would say the other part is finding the game, as there's a game in every single interaction and thing that you do every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Each different part of your day is a game. And so being able to find the game and find the joy and the play and the fun in it makes not only you so much happier and every experience so much more joyful because of that, but also I would say attracts a bunch more to you. I think that your outlook definitely has a say in what comes to you as well. So staying positive and really kind of being a light to help attract more joy and opportunity to you definitely helps.
Yeah, I can't argue with say yes. Say yes is like one of the mottos that I live by too. So, and it brings you to so many places, as Camden said. I think going in a different direction, I would say stay well-rounded. It's really easy to get sucked deep into social life or deep into academic life or deep into your athletic life. And you're going to find that as you're more well-balanced, your life has a lot more to it and you find a lot more connections and community. So I am calendar king. I use my Outlook all the time. I have my space for my gym, space for classes, and then space for student government, as well as space for my friends. So I think building out that time in order to recharge in everything you're doing is really helpful to a student experience.
Yeah, I think on that same vein, take care of yourself. I'm someone who's always running at like 100%. And I found just the value of being able to sit down, call my mom, or go out for coffee with friends and really just not think about work, not think about school for a minute has been really valuable, especially as I've navigated getting involved in a lot. So yeah.
All of this is very sage advice, whether you're an incoming student or you're a graduating senior. Say yes, take risks, take care of yourself, make sure that you're finding time for yourself, making sure you're being well balanced. Those are all things that we also say to students in student life. It's really important as we talk about the well-being and life cycle of a student. So thank you all for, number one, not just saying it, but also embodying it. Thank you for all you're doing to create space, again, for your peers here at CU as well. And so today you've heard it on the go with Dr. Mull and our CUSG leaders, Camden, John, and Gianna, who are really set to help you all have an amazing school year. We're grateful for them. We're grateful for this time. Thank you, and go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.